right, it's time to do it again. Every gaming giant eventually gets too arrogant, too greedy, too high of its own supply. Microsoft had its moment. Remember blocking game sharing on the Xbox?
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
Sony had its moment, the $600 for the PS3.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kaz Hirai.
The essence of the PlayStation DNA is real change, and the consumers are ready. PlayStation 3 will retail for $599 US.
And now we're back to Nintendo again. It's Nintendo's turn. The humbling approaches. Let's list a couple of Nintendo's sins. First sin, 40 to 74 re-release of games from 3 console generations ago. And not only that, you've already re-released one of those for a previous anniversary and you're selling it to me for like $40 for one of them again?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Now, other than the obvious sad part, which is we probably will buy it, I'm probably going to be included. I really want to get a good deal on it. If I can get a good deal on it, I might get it. So unlike a lot of people that will actually call out something, I will admit I'm part of the problem. Seriously, Nintendo has my cojones by the cojones. I'm just not even going to bullshit you and act like they don't. They've got my childhood. I've grown up with Nintendo, so I'm part of the problem. But I can just as well call it out at the same time. I am part of the problem and I'm calling it out. Like, it is what it is. I'm calling myself out, in this included. Don't forget all the stupid game keycard nonsense. Holy crap, the fucking game keycard nonsense. My God.
Dude, put that thing away. They're like children here.
The whole chat feature, as far as it being in the Joy-Cons and the Pro controllers, which I'm pretty sure C still stands for credit card. Also doing something as jank and petty as charging for virtual tour. You're charging people for a basic tutorial. It's nonsense. Then of course Nintendo also shifting to where it's like, oh well, DLC is just like right around the corner as soon as the game comes out. Why couldn't it have just been part of the full game? And it sucks because this is the same gaming company who really not that long ago, if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, was very against DLC. Now they're all over it as far as not giving people the full course meals that they used to give. But not only that, you've got the Pokemon company patenting monster catching and battling, which, if my memory serves me right, Shin Megami Tensei was there long before, I think like a presidential term's worth of time before Pokemon ever came out on the scene. I love Pokemon, but still, it is what it is. Like retro games, it's drip fed, slow as molasses, instead of giving us a full gaming library for the Nintendo Online that people have been begging for. What is all this nonsense? It's just, it's embarrassing. And the leadership, I know things change over time, but I honestly, if you really just, and I'm always going to be a straight shooter with you, I feel like once Reggie left and Iwata passed away, a lot of what kept Nintendo on the up and up and kept Nintendo grounded was gone. And a lot of people have complained about them online, and rightfully so. You just have the general stuffy, out of touch, old Nintendo Japanese businessmen. The ones that are in a boardroom, they're completely out of touch, nickel and diming loyal fans. And Nintendo always has had this eccentric decision making, which a lot of it's very cool, but this isn't eccentric. This is just greedy jackassery. I feel like eventually, they're high on their own huffium right now. We'll just say that they're high on their own huffium. And it's really bad. Just as much as I love Nintendo, I will call out its BS any day of the week. It's a multi-billion-dollar with a B corporation. I have no allegiance to anybody. Now, Nintendo, if you sign some checks for me, you sponsor me, you might get a little something different out of it. I remember when they finally officially announced the Nintendo Switch 2, and I was really excited for it. I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to play all these these high resolution games on the go. I cannot wait. But then I just come and it's game key cards, and I'm like, what is a game key card? And then lo and behold, it's just now I'm gonna be absolutely fair. Once again, I've been fair before on this. I will be fair again. If you are a small developer and you opt for a game key card, I think it sucks, but I think that is more than fine. Now, honestly, at that point, you might as well just opt for digital and call it a day, because really, game key cards are just the inconvenience of a physical without the actual ownership of the physical, which defeats the purpose of a physical. It's just digital, but more obnoxious steps to it. So if you are a small developer, while you might as well just go digital, if you do game key cards as a tiny developer who can't afford all the, that's more than fine. But if you are a big publisher, Capcom, if you are a big publisher, Square Enix, if you are a big publisher, Konami, if you are a big publisher, Sega, if your gaming file size is at least somewhat under 64 gigabytes to where it can reasonably fit on a card like Cyberpunk 2077 was able to do, then you do not need a game key card. You are being a greedy jackass. I am not supporting the game key card nonsense. If it's a small developer, sure, like say for instance if Hades messed around, like Hades 2 messed around and did a game key card, I would understand that. It's a much smaller developer, which, come to find out, they did not do that. Really, EA, 2K, if y'all do, your sports franchises as game key cards, at that point, it's just really funny. Like, matter of fact, if the whole gaming industry only made sports games gaming key cards, that would be hilarious. But unfortunately, I'm not laughing right now. But Nintendo, just all this nonsense. God, the DLC, like I said, you're selling me a game that you've already sold me like a couple of years ago for like 60, but you've even made it more expensive now. It looks better on an emulator. I don't even like playing on emulators. It's just, oh God, it's so asinine. But the general business rule, businesses are built like crackheads. Their sole purpose is to satisfy that addiction. I smoke rocks, man. Doing the Mr. Krabs. So I know if you feed the addiction is going to continue. I totally understand that. But fixing this problem is going to be a two-way street. It's going to have to be between the company and its customers. And I'm specifically saying customers because we really need to do a distinguish between just like, oh, I'm a sycophantic fan versus like an actual customer. Like, yeah, you can love Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I'm a big fan of Nintendo. But we're also customers. They are a business. We are customers. But I just can't get over this. Like, just the rap sheet overall, just the overpriced ports. Now, Nintendo has done this before. They did this on the Wii U. I'm not, like, I don't have recency bias. I am aware of Nintendo has done this for some time, but you can overlook it to a degree, but now it's ballooned into it. And honestly, I mean, it shouldn't be up to the customer. It really should be up to the company to police itself. But it's ballooned from such a small issue to such a larger issue. It's like, okay, all right, this is too much. I can't, I'm not with it. Yeah, the high price ports. Like I said, Mario Galaxy, a game from 2007, which is, that's a different time period if there ever was one. Like costing $40 by itself. And then $40 for Mario Galaxy 2 to make a set. And that's not even counting tax. Meanwhile, it was cheaper on the Wii U. Like, imagine reselling you the same soda 3 times and you're charging more each time. The amiibo stuff, I hadn't even talked about the amiibo stuff. I remember when amiibos were just like $12 and $15. Now, some of them still are like around $15 or so. And yeah, like I said, I'm taking inflation into account. But some of them are like $50 now. It's nonsense. It's just plastic. It's plastic with a little chip reader. That's it. And it's insane. And then the overpriced DLC, like there's DLC for games like the Pokemon game that DLC is coming out for. It ain't even just like came out yet. And they're already like DLC. Like, bro, just give me the full meal. Stop nickel and diming me. But hey, it's Nintendo. Nintendo can't do no wrong. But it's just sad. But yeah, the Pokemon stuff. $60 for the base game, $30 for the DLC at launch, and then of course $30 for the online. That's $120 for Pokemon. And as of late, a lot of that's been half-assed. The only thing evolving here is Nintendo's cash grab, really. And the aggressive patenting, doubling back on that, it blows my mind actually. Like being the second to an actual idea, and then patenting the idea. You're just like, I'm second place, the gold medal is mine. I own the rights to the gold medal and all other preceding gold medals. Seriously, don't take my word for it. Look up when Shin Megami Tensei came out. Look up when Pokemon came out. Shin Megami Tensei was catching monsters before Pokemon could crawl. Aside from the stupid game key card and then the stupid chat feature thing that you have to pay for to use, I love the Switch 2. I think it's a really cool console. Aside from, you could have did a better screen. Let's be real.
You disgust me.
The only thing it's been doing is just limping to the barn with these general just like re-releases. And the re-releases would be so much better if they were priced accordingly. But at the same time, I just feel like with Iwata, unfortunately passing away, and like you can look up how Iwata was as a person. Iwata was the type of person to where he would roll his sleeves up and work alongside you. Iwata was a person that took a pay cut, an insane pay cut, when Nintendo was struggling, or quote unquote struggling. Iwata was the same person who actually, like I said, when I mentioned rolling up sleeves, where he actually rolled up his sleeves to get games ported over as they needed to be and as he felt like they needed to be. Banger of a person. Reggie. Reggie was another banger voice of reason. Instead of trying to charge a nickel and dime fans, it's like, hey, let's give this to them as a package deal to show them that we value them as customers. We value them as people. We value them as fans. They're both gone, so look at all the shit that you're getting now. I'm not saying that it was just like roses and dandelions prior. It wasn't, but it's not as bad as it is now. But anyways, that's just the climate of how things are now. Overall, you've heard my viewpoints. Look, life is short. Even with my justifiable grievances, you buy what you want. You enjoy your games. If you want to pay $70 for a game that's already been released multiple times, then you do that. If you're fine with game key cards, then you do that. If you're fine with digital and not actually owning your games, then do that. I'm not being facetious. I'm just telling you exactly what is. When you buy digital, you don't own it. Now, technically, the legal jargon is going to say if you buy a game physically, then you don't own it then. But guess what? You own it. It is in your hand. They are not coming after you over it. It is just not worth it to them to come after you for an old copy of like Yoshi's Story or some shit. Like it's just, or Kirby. They're not coming after you over that. You'd have to go above and beyond and do something extra extraordinary for them to waste the funds to come after you. I know Nintendo can be petty. Any company can be petty. It's just unlikely that they're going to do that. But yeah, life is short. Go do what you want. But yeah, you own your physical. You don't own what isn't physically in your hand. If one day, there have been a couple of games that I've wanted to get in the eShop and I can't get them now because they are no longer there. If I had bought them beforehand, I would have access to them. But guess what? When like down the line, when the eShop changes or whatever changes get made, eventually those games are gone that you purchased. They're gonzo. That you've pissed that money away. You don't own that asset. You can't resell them or anything. If they're not on your console, you're donezo. You've just donated that money. That's just what it is. But yeah, even with that knowledge, life is short. But let's call it what it is. This is some bullshit. And arrogance always ends the same way. Microsoft got humbled. Sony got humbled. Nintendo got humbled before, especially with the whole, before PlayStation came on the scene. Nintendo got humbled there. Nintendo's likely about to get, Nintendo got humbled with the Wii U. Nintendo's got humbled with the Virtual Boy, which, they added the Virtual Boy to there because why not? It's not like there's a bunch of other games that could get added to the Nintendo Online that would be much better for maybe much better for their fucking eyesight. But my Attack on Titan reference, they call it the rumbling. I'm calling this the humbling. Nintendo needs to be humbled. I love you, Nintendo. You need to get humbled. You need an intervention. You need to be like, oh, this is anti-consumer to a very extreme degree. Maybe I need to chill out. But anyways, that's my whole shtick. Whether you agree or disagree, feel free to leave in the comments down below. Feel free to hit that like button, subscribe if you enjoyed my rant, share wherever you share things, whether you agree or disagree, dislike if you disagree. That's pretty much it, y'all. You decide what you want to do. It's your life. It's your money. If you like it, so be it. If you hate it, voice your opinions either way. I'll be in the comments. Peace out.